Kwa majina naitwa Wema, Mama Precious. Mimi nilikuwa natamani mume wangu Mayuguno atoe fikra kwamba Ngutu aliniiba mimi na mtoto. Kiukweli mimi Ngutu kuniiba. Mimi ni mtu mzima, Ngutu kuniiba. Ila Ngutu alitumwa tu, yani yeye ni mtumwa, alitumwa. Na hicho anachosema kwamba Ngutu aliiba masponsa wake, hapana. Ngutu kuiba masponsa. Ngutu yeye alitumwa na Ngutu kuniiba. Mimi naishi peke yangu na mtoto wangu.
Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's back again to the root of today. We are to one-on-one live. That's going to be coming to you live. This is the time that we're going to be checking this kind of the video. Wherever you are, keep in watching, keep in viewing, and also keep in locked in, and also keep in liking and sharing this kind of the calibrastic moment that we have just got from the living God to have this kind of the good day as we just prevail with this kind of the fantastic moment as we get to the brim point of today. Here we are. It's one-on-one. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. Guys, we have much of the breaking news that are already coming out at this kind of the section, and it's very, very heterozygus and very, very hetero-coefficient at this kind of the moment. What is breaking news at this kind of the moment? Where is Mogesi up to this kind of the time? Since this kind of the illustrations of the situations, how they occurred unto his own life, where is he? Much of the people going to be wondering, where is Mogesi? This is the fact about it. Mogesi, whenever they had a fight, talk about the village fight, about talking about this kind of talk about the Master KG's affidavit, and the point they're going to be talking about, they have to get that kind of the dignity. What did it come out? Much of the people don't understand what's really popping out at this kind of the calibracious time, whereby talk about Master KG was crying like a child, talking about why are you making this one, because they were talking about they went so as they can just have much of the chaotic, the land zag how it was, and it was so chaotic at that kind of the moment. And during that time I was in Kisumu talking about, oh my living God, if I could be just at the village to make sure that these are the shenanigans that Ginto likes, to make sure they're going to be coming out like a safari rally. But what came out at this kind of the time, the point that always it's just getting to the time is Mogesi has run out of the village already to make sure that they're going to be relaxing, because he has been getting the occasions simultaneously in a way that you can just wonder what's really happening to Mogesi's life. And the real fact is from the stealing of the whole boutique, talk about from the fighting of talking about their legacy land should be prevailed, talk about assisting on how the things going to be, and also he has been thrown in such kind of the problems every time and then. So he has already left the village for his own evacuation to make sure that he's going to be relaxing, where he's going to be getting right now, to as he can just make sure that everything is getting very, very fantastic at this kind of the moment today. Also, some of the people are asking about what has happened with the Mwango's vehicle, where it is, the BMW KC, something like KC something, something KCW there. Where is it? Nowhere to be found. Right now, what has happened with the Mwango's vehicle? Have you ever seen it? Right now, it's just walking majestically. What happened in, talk about what happened in Mombasa. What really has happened? Because much of the people are going to be talking about, oh, she has sold the vehicle. She has sold the vehicle to start up the G, to talk about the D vehicle, talk about the D villa. What is really happening at this kind of the street? Right now, everybody is just quotating what has really found. Has she sold the vehicle for talking about she's going to be constructing the D villa? Is it going to be coming? And to the real fact, I'm always talking about this kind of the fact that I'm a person who likes to go straight to the point and also hit the nail. To talk about, if you want to dive into this kind of the matter and handle it very fantastic. Because today I was just moving around about talking about, I'm going to be getting to talk about the father to Mogesi a little bit, had a little bit of the problem. Then I was being called that, oh, Gintu, can you have this kind of the emergency a little bit here and there? So how it happened, I just took him, and much of the boys now, they were just told that whenever you see Gintu at that kind of the village, they're going to be talking about, oh, they're going to be coming for Gintu east, west, and south. And it was an order that was removed with the Mwango talking about, oh, whenever you see Gintu, hit him like a cherry drum. Whenever you look at, whenever you see Mungesi, you're going to be deleting you from this kind of the village. I'm just wondering that, imagine the Master KG was just telling Mugesi that, you understand, if you post that video, I'll make terrible things, because Mugesi was filming the video when they were just arguing about the land and how they started a fight, how they were fighting much of the villagers, and Mugesi was filming the video, and Mugesi was told, if you do it or if you post that video, you're gonna be checking how the things are gonna be coming. I appreciate Mugesi never posted it, and it could bring much of the shenanigan, because this kind of the people, it could be the way of being finished. Because the good fact is the video was entitling how, imagine the guy himself was crying like a safari rally, and you think about the tears are coming like rainfall. And what happened at this kind of the moment? They told Mugesi that you should not post that kind of the video, because if you post it, will express us. And also, the demon, talk about the demon himself, talked about, yeah, if you post it, we're going to be making sure that you're going to be doing terrible things to your family. So even you saw Mayuguno going to talk about, oh, you know, he went to understand how the things were just coming from that kind of the village. Already Mayuguno has left the village. Why? Has not told you. Mayuguno has left because today we were one-on-one, me and him, to make sure that I was just leaving to Tanzania, so as he can just get much of his own betterness to the fort, because he's no longer needed at the villa at this particular time, because he was told, until you start the construction of your villa, I'll come to your own site, so as you can just cherish together. So right now, Mayuguno has nothing right now to ensure and entitle as it's gonna be getting to the frontier here. So much of the people want to hate Gintu that, oh, you know, Gintu has to broadcast it live, and it has to come one-on-one. There's nobody can talk about, oh, Gintu, it has been this way, it has been that way. Nobody can stop the real G not to make it happen. Because I always talk about, whenever I go, I'll strengthen the record. I'll just make sure that I have solidized and make sure that everything is mediated. If it's a highway, I'll make sure that that highway is simultaneous. I'll make sure that the questions that are going to be coming from there, I understand how to put this kind of the things. I'm not in any party talking about, oh, I'm alone in the way I am. I don't have any party right now. That is the fact. Because the more the parties, the more the dancing, the more the expression, the more they talk about, the more the manipulation. So I don't like this kind of the partyism. So right now, I'm just working as an independent journalist to make sure that I'm going to be excavating promptingly out, to make sure that we're going to be getting them one-on-one at this kind of the caliber of the moment, so you can just share, like, and also subscribe if you're watching this kind of the fantastic video. Already right now, the talk about the D Villa is continuing at that kind of the site, and I always talk about, I'll be updating people. Where have they moved to? Because we want to understand. Let everything be legal. Let everything be the way it has to follow the channel. Let everything know that this is the way forward. This is not the way forward. Let everybody understand this is the strategy. This is not the strategy. And they are hating Gintu because I always venture inside. Talking about, I always go where they have not even gone. Because I always understand much of the people and I know them. And also, I've also been there because we are ever talking. There's a day I just went and they're talking to me that, oh, Gintu is here. And they are talking about, oh, and he's looking at here and he's just already had the content. So the good thing is, if I see the content. If I walk about the content is around. So that is the fact. So right now, much of the people have not understood that there's no BMW that was there. Where is that BMW vehicle? Right now, they're just walking helter-skelter and kimonguskali and talking about now it's foot by foot. And appreciation to my brother Master KG, as they're going to be now graduating to a senior bachelor already, because things are getting worse. Because I always talk about sometimes we have to gauge and engage and know how are the things running, how the things moving, and how everything is just strategically located. Right now, my brother Maro is just a senior bachelor also, and right now we're going to be in a dry spell as usual, and right now we have to be very punctual with our ladies and gentlemen and to the village. Because right now, now you're going to be checking much of the ladies going there like safari rally, talking about, east, west, and south, and how you understand the challenges between the dad and him. So you understand how the things were. They have a common ancestor, or the common optimistic things that always follow them at the same. So the fact is, we have to get everything and how everything should be going alongside the way. And that is the cherishment that we're going to be talking about. And also, I brought you much of the breaking news as east, west, and south. And today I had met with this kind of, the guys talk about the other reactors. Already we are talking about, you understand who is Gintu at this kind of the particular time. I don't have much of the hate that, because you have done this one, you have done that. If it has gone, it has gone. I don't have that kind of the way. Talking about, it has to go this way, it has to go that way. No. The way is forward. And the real fact of the moment is, right now, everybody is searching for the green pasture. And the green pasture, we have to get it. Either you can get it from somewhere. You can talk about you want to go to somewhere else. And so as you can just get the green pasture. But when you reach there, the things are getting worse. Then you talk about, better where I just came from. So you have to go back to where you came from. That is the way of getting forward. But now we have got the green pasture where we are. So we have to make sure that whenever I go for a job, somebody can talk about, Gintu, why are you filming always from this kind of the people, this and that, this. Whom do you want to give you the information on how everything is going? I will be filming, and even in the talk about the starting of the structure. Talking about now they have just developed. Now people are working there. So they could not be employing much of the young generation like the villa, how it was built with children. And we talk about, no. Everything should be straightforward. But we are advertising for much of the boys to understand how the things should be. Because much of the people think about, whenever I sell this kind of a piece of land, I'm going to be acting properly, I'm going to be dancing. Right now, that kind of the money that they're just bribing and they're giving this kind of the young souls, the young boys who are just developing to be the next fathers of tomorrow. Right now, they're just behaving crookedly, they're behaving lunatically, they're behaving stupidically in a way that you can even wonder what's really prompting out at this kind of the moment. Because everybody is wondering, is this the generation that is going to be growing? People are just wondering up to this kind of the time. But we are having this kind of the people, they're always talking about, we have to get them forward. No, we are helping, even including that even if you have never sold them with the land. Talk about they have been proposing, like the way they were proposing that, Gintu, you should sell us this kind of the land and make sure that we are getting this kind of the land because it has a good view to the villa, and I refused. I was told that you have to go, and they don't need me. And that's why you see much of the people think about I'm fighting with them. Nobody is fighting with them. They're the people who have they talk about the jealousy, about they want everything. That, we have money, we have to do this, we have money, we have to do that one. No! We have to understand at our own strategically point and know where are we heading to and how are we going to be making it. The little factor that I have is today. The fact has to be told as a fact. Let the postquams be the postquams. Let the people, whenever we want to talk, are going to be talking. What also has just come out. Everybody has to talk the legitimate. What is there, what has been there, and how the strategy is getting forward. But much of the people think about, whenever you talk about this one, I am elevating. And I'm even teaching. And the same people I'm just teaching, they have been given again liquor so that they can just talk about they're going to be attacking Gintu whenever I'm passing. So that is a failure. That's a failure. Who is going to be helping them? It will reach at tomorrow now. It will come about again another war. Talking about, I sold the land. Now this is the chaos, the mayhem, and everything. And whenever you start selling an ancestral land, already I'm telling you, you will ever be selling it now and again. Because when you are selling it, not doing that it's a school fee that a person can talk about, you are gaining a knowledge that will come again and apply it and buy the another land. Now you are just utilizing alcohol and just going and pee at the alcohol and finishing, and you're talking about, I'm just getting forward. And this kind of the people they are cherishing, now we are going to be taking over the game. It's becoming stupid. It's becoming awkward. And also, they think about whenever they're going to be engaging the young boys. And I'm just wondering, why is it happening this way? That it's just the young boys are being targeted at this kind of the particular moment. That, look at Matiko. Look at the brother to Ernesto. Look at the families that have been targeted. Talk about the other people that sold the land. Right now, they have died already. And talk about this kind of the souls. Where are they going? They're now thrown in a way that now they'll buy everything and leave them vacant. And which kind of the way do you want them to live? They have children. What is tomorrow? A person is left with 50 by 100 feet, a plot of 50 by 100. That's where your home is. That's where everything is. And again, they will just put a very big perimeter wall. And you're thinking about, oh, you know, they're going to be employing me as a soldier in your own plot. Look at how people are just thrown into sarcasm. Very stupidical. And people, whenever they'll come to sense, you'll know that this kind of the people are just doing it. You can imagine they're learned. They went even to university. That's a person who is doing, apart from even the brothers who have not even gone to even high school. They're not doing it. Even the father who learned, even never finished a Form 4, has never sold the land. Right now you are coming as a universian, Kai, and just talking about, yeah, I have to sell, it's my plot. Yes, you have your own rights and freedom to make it happen. But remember, tomorrow going to be hitting much of the people outside here. And that is the thing that we're advertising for. And let us not be used as the gentleman that, oh, this is the way here, this is the way there. That's very awkward. And right now, much of the people are just asking about it. That what has been the crackatoos of the moment here. Because right now, we are not taking much of the vehicle turning east, west, and south. You understand? Sometimes you pass, sometimes where is the BMW? I'm asking myself still up to right now. Because the BMW, you understand there's a time she was arrested in Mombasa of driving without having a driving license. So sometimes a driving license is something that you can go and hook up with 10,000, which is $100. And talk about, yeah, give me it. And for 4 days, it has already arrived. And you're talking about we don't have a driving license. You are telling us you are a millionaire. And why are you not having a driving license? And is it the one that has been sold? So as the dealer can just continue. And already we are always talking about this kind of the way. Already right now, somebody is talking about, oh, Gintu is going to check on this and this and then this. I have to report it because even the person is talking about Gintu is making this, is stalking, he is doing this one. They're the same people have talked about, yeah, let me now take over the game and take over your responsibility as my sister so I can just take care of this kind of the construction here. Why is it happening that way? It's because they have to understand it very legitimately because right now the content is becoming a heterozygous thing and we have to understand each self at this kind of the phantom moment whereby whenever you are just sitting down, right now the villa has no content. Which kind of the content? There is no content in the villa. Right now he has to go out and show people how they are fighting for the land, how they are buying land from the liquored small boys, the young souls of the generation coming, and they're talking about, yeah guys, we have got our talk about a precious land has found. Imagine there's a person who are just talking about precious land has been found, yet you are leaving other people to talk about, my life is ending while drinking much of the alcohol. But why can't you talk about, buy me this kind of a piece of land? Yes, nobody has refused. Because when a corruption is bad, but when you are involved, it's good. And if you are in for it, you will defend it. Because they are defending it because they are in of that kind of the saga. Why do I say so? That kind of the saga of the land saga, already today, I was there, talking about they have already solidarized because there are two brothers who are fighting because of the road, because of talking about the road going to be having a problem east, west, and south. It has already been solved because of yesterday I did a video. And I talked about they have to go and sit down as the gentleman. Talk about, hey, can I have this kind of a problem? How can we solidarize this kind of a problem? How can I put this kind of a problem down and we sit down as the gentleman here and discuss it? I told them. They watched the video. And already my video yesterday, it was put down. And somebody ganged it down and talked about, oh, now I'm going to be reporting into the YouTube. I'm already, I've done that. Those kind of the things have been done terribly every time because whenever I upload the video, it is demonetized. Then I have to appeal again and again and again, and they ever bring it back. Because I understand much of the people, they think about, oh, they don't want Gintu to excel, they want Gintu only to stay at the same focus. I want to be bringing everything from the village, because I talked about I'm the village reporter. Everything that happens, even if it's a thief has been caught, Gintu gonna be broadcasting it live, because we have to understand that the real village has much of the terrible mistakes that are getting on and on and on. Because how are we gonna be doing this? And we wanna be collecting those kind of the money so as we can support the other people, because as long as we are using them to make a difference, that's very much. Because the same way I talk about, I use my 10% to help the vulnerables. That is it. So the more you see Gintu going to this kind of the sites, so they can go and bring something, so because they don't give it out. I want to go there, make a video, people watch it, to make sure that we're going to support them, because they cannot support them. Let me go buy ideas. I take my idea, I renovate it, I go there and I pick some good ideas, I renovate, I post, people watch the video, and I do what? I gain that kind of the money. The 10% will be going to the vulnerable. Am I doing something correct or not good? So that is the fact we are doing. But not that every time you're just there talking about, oh, where are the children? Right now, there's not much of talk about is not long a greener pasture there, because much of the people right now, they understand that this is critically this way, this is critical at this kind of the moment, and that is the fact that we are going to be having at this kind of the rate, and we have to understand it from the quantum of the moment, that we have to understand each other. Let everybody do the best the way you can do it. If I'm good in terms of reaction, that is the fact. And also, I'm good in terms of making sure that I'm going to be supporting much of the people to grow, and to make sure that they're going to be getting front, and they're going to be defending much of the people, whoever they have low voices to explain themselves, to express themselves, to have their own rights, and the speech of getting out. That is the fact about the real G. But much of the people talk about, oh, we hate this kind of the person, because even if they could be given a moment to talk about whom do you want to delete in this kind of the world, much of the people from that family, they talk about, we are starting with the Gintu. Whenever Gintu is out, we deal with the Mugeshi. So they think about we are becoming a stereotype people who cannot allow this kind of the messiness to happen. But that is the fact. The messiness, the pettiness, and the shamelessness, things that are happening to the village, they have to stop. How can we talk about this kind of the issues? I'm at the ground. I will not be speaking. Let me show the people. This is where the problem is. This is the land that has a problem. This is the way of us to solidarize and talk about that. This is the way of us handling this kind of the matters. And how are we going to solve this kind of the matters? Via evolving ourselves into dipping into ourselves inside this kind of the structure and excavate much of the phantom moments, so as can just critically and analytically solve the matters once and for all. We are getting back to Mayuguno.
Kwa majina naitwa Wema, Mama Precious. Kama mlikuwa mnijui, mimi ndo Mama Precious, mke wa Mayuguno. Mayuguno anasema kwamba yeye hana mke, lakini mimi ndo mke wake. Mimi ndo mamake Precious. Alivonifataga huko, alinitumia nauli nikarudi. Nivorudi nikaanza kuishi naye, nikaishi naye kidogo, lakini hali haikuwa nzuri, maana yeye kiukweli alikuwa nipendi. Yaani yeye alinidanganya tu ili nirudi nimpe mtoto, maana yeye anampenda mtoto. Anipendi mimi, isitoshe anadai kwamba hana mke. Kiukweli mimi ndo mke wake. Tangia yani mimi ndo nilikuwa naishi naye mpaka akaja kupata hela kuingia kwenye YouTube, hiyo mimi ndo nilikuwa naishi naye. Kwa kiukweli nilipitia changamoto nyingi sana. Nilivokuja hapo nikaishi naye, akaanza kunitesa, akana nificha. Marafiki zake wakija anasema mimi tu ni mama mtoto wake, mimi sio mke wake. Kwa niliishi naye, nikaishi naye hivyo nikaishi naye. Kuna siku moja hapo niliugua. Nilivougua yeye kuwepo, aliondoka kaenda Nairobi huko. Kumpigia simu naumwa, niliugua sana kidogo nife. Hakunijali kwa chochote, ila yeye aliangalia raha, kwa nafanya raha huko. Akana nipigia simu ananiambia anitaki, anipe 500,000 ili mimi niondoke kwenye maisha yake. Maana mimi kiukweli mimi ni yatima, sina wazazi. Nilikuwa nafanya tu kazi ya nyumba. Alivyoniambia hivyo, mimi kiukweli nilivumilia tu, nikanavumilia, ila yeye akanasema anitaki niondoke kwenye maisha yake, anataka aoe mzungu. Mimi nilivokaa nikakaa, hasa naona ile hali inazidi, kila siku anasema anitaki, yeye ni anakula raha, halali nyumbani. Mimi kiukweli niliondoka, nilivoondoka nikarudi kule nilipokuwa nafanyia kazi ya nyumba. Nilikuwa naishi huko mimi na mtoto wangu. Sukate. Sasa nilivorudi kule nilipokuwa nafanya kazi ya nyumba kule, nikakaa. Ndo siku moja nisema kama Mungu alinitumia malaika, na Ngutu akatumiwa hela akaniletea. Alivoniletea hela, sasa yule mtu akaniambia kwamba nilipe hela ya mwaka mzima. Nilivolipa hela ya mwaka mzima ya nyumba, akanitumia hela nyingine nikamlipia mtoto school fee. Sasa ndo hivyo akanifanyia kila. Sasa baada ya mateso niliondoka kwa Mayuguno, nikarudi pale nilipokuwa nafanyia kazi ya ndani mimi na mtoto wangu. Nikakaa hapo, nilivokaa. Siku moja Mungu alinionekania. Mtu alinitumia hela, alimtumia Ngutu hela kwamba niletee, ila Ngutu hakujua ninapokaa. Akapeleleza, akatafuta namba yangu, akapata namba yangu. Alivopata namba yangu akanipigia simu tukutane naye sehemu. Nilivokutana naye ndo akaniambia huyo mtu aliyetuma hela amesema nitafute nyumba ya kukodisha anilipie. Akanipa ile hela, nikalipa mwaka mzima, akamlipia na mtoto school fee. Kiukweli Ngutu hakuniiba kama ninavyosema eti Ngutu ameniiba, Ngutu amenioa. Hapana, hajaniiba. Mimi nilitumiwa hela na mtu ambaye hata simjui. Akamtumia hela yeye kwamba niletee. Ndo hivyo mimi sasa hivi mwaka unaelekea kuisha na sijui kwamba yule mtu ataendelea kunisapoti, kunilipia nyumba na kumlipia mtoto. Mpaka hapa sasa hivi sijui hatima yangu ipo wapi. Stopisha.
Because we are having much of the crackatoos of the moment. I went one-on-one to talk about Mayuguno's wife. Because I heard about the story between the Ngutu. I was ever talking about this kind of the story of Ngutu, and I had some of different episodes, and I have very many episodes coming, and nakuja. I had much of the episodes coming talking about how this kind of the issues will be solved at this kind of the moment. What followed at this kind of the pathway? I talked about how it started, who was behind, and much of the people, they never got this kind of the point because I left it so as he can come out himself and express himself what had happened at this kind of the rate. Much of the people never understood it. Very few people understood that I was coming to Ngutu, the widow, was the one who was being claimed of being a part of the reaction and taking part of Mayuguno's wife at that kind of the particular moment. And I talked about this kind of a person was ever been given much of the money. So as he can just make sure that he is protecting the lady and giving it to the lady. It's the same way that we can talk about they identified a person who can make it possible. Yes, we have it to happen. And to the real fact, everybody knows it. Everybody understands that this is the strategy. This is the strategy. Right now, it has been evolved that Mayuguno is talking about now Ngutu the widow took over the game. We have to understand how the strategy is. And he was ever complaining that, oh, you understand, even me, I started those kind of the episodes here talking about how the strategy was. So somebody wanted to take that kind of a strategy and run out with that kind of a strategy. But the good fact is when I'm giving out a strategy, already already I am having it. And already I know what I'm just speaking every time. Not that I'm just speaking once and I just forget whatever I've just spoken. No, I understand the strategy. You understand this kind of the people, they have that kind of a technique. Talking about, I want to be evolved at this kind of the particular moment, and I'll evacuate from this kind of the moment, having whatever I intended to have. But at this kind of the rate, I was one-on-one to make sure that I'm just bringing you the live one-on-one from, she's called Mama Precious, and she was very califragistically good, talking about this is how the scenario is and this is how the matter was. And she was talking about, this kind of the guy you are talking about, we are just doing ABCD and talking about Ngutu, ABCD and this and this. Ngutu came out and expressed himself and talked about, no, just leave the horse's air out, because I was part of the program to help your wife and this and this. And the lady is still communicating that Mayuguno want to marry another wife. But sometimes you have to understand this kind of a way. Sometimes, I don't know why we are sometimes fed up with this kind of the illusions of talking about, I am just attached at this kind of the moment. You want to benefit everything from A to Z. Everything. You don't want this kind of the people. I don't know, sometimes we have a problem. Whenever we talk about this one, that sometimes you have this kind of a way of talking about, I'm just now staying where things are. Now I'm going to be benefiting A, B, C, D. Even you cannot involve talking about, let me help this kind of the thing to go forward. Even you cannot cherish, talk about, today you are this one, this. Sometimes you have to fail. Sometimes female fails. Sometimes male fails. I understand that kind of a way. But right now, I was talking to Mayuguno. He has just talked about they're going to be solidizing this kind of the issues. And today I was with Mayuguno one-on-one. And already has just gone to Tanzania to look for that kind of the wife. Because sometimes I always do things one-on-one to make sure that Mayuguno going to be getting this kind of the strategy and always advice to make sure that everything is getting forward. So already Mayuguno has gone back to Tanzania to make sure they're going to be meeting with her and to make sure that baby Precious is getting back to the point where is she always believed to be, and that is the way we have to solidize this kind of the issues. So guys, as far as we just continue this kind of the vibe, we have already antagonized to talk about how these issues are, and I've talked about from on Monday I'm going to be having Ona and Ukaina Kuja. So I'm going to be having a good session with Matiko also, because he has just arrived. And you saw Matiko right now is looking califragistically big enough and already to tangle with much of the 2-3 things to happen at this kind of the rate. So the good fact I'm going to be talking about is we have to understand it. We have to know which kind of the way we're going to be getting. I already have just talked about we have to found ourselves. We have to understand ourselves. We have to know where are we moving to and where are the reactors. Why are they reacting upon this kind? If we have a common enemy and we have a common thing for us to do, if this kind of a person going to be talking about this is what I can do here and begin to talk about this is what I'm going to be doing, another person talk about I can do this from this kind of the part. If we join together, we can bond and make a very good bond, and so as we can just make sure that we are helping something which is once and for all. But when we talk about Gintu are separated, is there. The other person are separated, is there. The other person are separated, is there. And now we will be left at a vacant whereby we will just not have much of the intentions. We are talking about, this is eating this from the back, this is eating the other one from the back. So how are we going to be getting forward? Sometimes I always talk about I am a good person who understands how everything going to be getting. And I don't have that kind of a grudge that, I keep a grudge. That will be a mess to me. That will be a mess to much of the people. But that is what is failing to much of the people. That whenever you talk about, somebody has talked about you, you feel like, you're going to be so angry. You're going to be like meeting the guy and chop him like carrots. And you talk about, no, this kind of the guy is this way, is the other way. And you're going to be bringing the mayhem. I talked about I'm going to be changing back the Nyaboanse. What am I starting up? Right now, I've started up joining this kind of the people, bringing them together so they can just have a one unity team. Because as far as everything was, we are talking about, Marwa started a very big team, and how everything is just getting, everybody has messed out. Everybody's moving out. Everybody's moving east, west, and south. But how are we going to be rejoining? Because even outside here, much of the people right now, they have hated everybody. That, Gintu is being here is hated this way. The other person is here is hated that way. So how are we going to join our hands and make sure that the hate is getting out? That is what Gintu is venturing to. And not that, you have ever talked bad about Gintu. Understand, whenever I came to the reaction I talked about, if you take it personally, you'll be the one who is having a problem. Nobody is just getting angry about that you have reacted upon Gintu. And I said it, if you are joining reaction, much of the people don't know. You will be reacted on. And you will be hit like a safari rally. That's the time I talked about, even Nairobi teacher told me, that Gintu, if I find you in a mistake, I'll hit you like a safari rally. I'll hit you like a Cherokee drum. That is the fact. So when I come to this kind of the point of talking about the other people who don't understand that a reaction, you can be reacted. If you are reacted upon a person, you will be reacted too. So that is what I need much of the people to understand. But they don't think about it. They talk about, no, Gintu is messing, Gintu is stupid, Gintu is this way, Gintu is that way. But now they'll come to understand that this is the reality, and the real G is the reality to make it happen. Because as far as we combine ourselves, as far as we join our hands together, we create a bond. We make it happen. Let nobody talk about A, B, C, D, shagara, bagara, telenovela, osquams, postquams, intellectual postquams. So that is the failure that we are developing as a village. And when we join hands, even the way the village could be, and for us to get forward. Right now, everybody is talking about, how can I get this at this kind of the moment? How can I get at this at that moment? So it's becoming a failure at this kind of the moment. So let us join hands and make it happen. Because tomorrow is another day. And when we talk about tomorrow is another day, make it happen. Subscribe, like, share, comment, so they can just groove together as a team and make it happen. This is just the phantom moment that we are just sharing, so as we can understand what's really popping out at the village. And I just congratulate my brother. Mara right now is just my friend of senior bachelors. So right now we're gonna be senior bachelors. To make it happen, right now we're gonna be in a dry spells. And this is the way forward. Keep it tuned. Hello beautiful people, back again to the root of today. We're going to be handling much of the 2-3 matters that are going to be evolving here in Nyaboanza a little bit. We are just in town a little bit here to check on how the things are just running at this kind of the caliber of the moment. So at least I'm going to be checking to the guy again to make sure they're going to be solidizing this kind of the matter once and for all. And also to understand how is Mr. Joseph right now and how is he protruding with his own life. Because as far as everything is concerned, we have to understand that much of the people have much of the problems here and there. So already, right now it's not raining much as it was been raining. Right now it has been just slowing down at this kind of the rate. And at least we can just talk about, at the moment it's not so bad at the way it is, but it's just drying up at this kind of the late moment. So this kind of the pathway, it's just looking good a little bit. And I don't know if it's just in. Right now is no longer in, so I'm gonna always come to check. So the floor is not bad the way we left it, but it has much of the luggages that are inside here that we're gonna be handling, but it doesn't want much of the things to get out from here. So at least everything's just running good, and the net was just fixed here, and already is just sleeping in a very good environment a little bit, and the floor is dry. That's the better thing that we are just ever looking for. So right now it's no longer around, and I'm gonna be talking about the way I just promised much of the people that even the door here, it is not possible. This is the shutter. Very fantastic. So the good thing that I promised is I promised to get him every time talk about the luncheon. I'm paying for the hotel for him to get some meals every time whenever we're gonna be getting there. So the fact that is coming out, guys, again this kind of the guy came and again is just blocked, and even I came with much of the police here to do this kind of the work. But what I can just talk about is sometimes we have much of the failure, including even sometimes this kind of the civil societies talk about the police officers. Whenever they come, they don't have that kind of a way of talking about let it not be handled that way, because already it's blocked again, and much of the stones that we just removed here again, they're just bulked together at this kind of the thing. So it's something which is humiliating the effort, and we don't know how we can just handle this kind of the matters once and for all, because this kind of the issues have been prevailing now and again to have this kind of unconditional circumstances happening at every kind of the rate. So the good thing is we are just looking forward. If Mr. Joseph, we talked about this kind of the month, it's going to be the month that things going to be good at him. Talking about, he told us that we're going to be having some of the friend who are going to be coming from Mombasa. We're going to be giving him talk about a house that you're going to be staying. And already this is the month that you want to be talking about. I don't know if it could be the fact or it was just a way of talking about I want to maintain this kind of the house. But the house right now, it's not looking bad because we did the drainage passes here. And already I'm always coming to check on him because I never leave somebody who I know that have just done that kind of a way of getting forward with each other. So that is the real fact that I'm going to be talking about this kind of the moment. But here in Nyabohansi, we have to understand this is the regime that the strong want to survive. If we don't be strong, you will be just managed, and much of the people just take you as a granted situation. So that is what we want to make sure that everybody is just equitability. And whenever we talk about the fraternity of the equitability, and equity is what we need. But much of the people think about they are just beyond the regulations of talk about the societies, talk about maybe the police, maybe everything. So this kind of a person who is just blocking this kind of the water, maybe I've never seen the real brutality of how much of the people are just being done. But we talk about you don't have to go in such kind of a way. Let us use the force so as you can just regulate this kind of the matters here. The good thing is sometimes you talk about the police are even sometimes lured with man, talk about let it stay the way it is here. And you're talking about now this is now a good spoon for the police to eat. Talk about whenever I'm going to be calling that, oh, you know, this kind of the guy has blocked it again, and they're going to be talking about, how much do you get, or how much do you want, so as you can just deal with this kind of a person. I don't want to go in such kind of a way, and I know that's the point that they want to get to lure and make sure that we're going to be getting to that kind of the point, but I don't want to reach at that kind of the area. So the good fact is we're going to be dealing with it simultaneously, because already it's now becoming so worse, because whenever right now it's not raining, it might be talking about, oh, it mistake there because it's not raining right now. What if it's gonna be raining again? So we're gonna be having much of the problem again. Water gonna be bulked here, and again Mr. Joseph will talk about I am in California. It will be so shameful and very, very hectic. I think that we can just come out and talk about this very humiliating situation that we are having at this kind of the moment. But we have to groove together and groove together and groove together so they can just make it happen, because we understand the strategy how it is and everything how it's just random and how we're gonna be grooving together as a team. But I don't leave this kind of the guys the way they are because of the age, because of what that if we are not with them hand in hand, they're going to be treated badly. They're going to be taken in a granted situation. They're going to be taken in a way that they have nothing to offer to the society. That is what is becoming so stupidical, and we want to protect them from that kind of the caliber of that kind of the humiliation. And from this kind of the way, I'm going to be talking about I ever be together, because this kind of the people I help the vulnerable also, and including the people you know that this kind of a person is just lost at this kind of the channel. So how can we do it so I can just have this kind of a guy coming closer and closer and closer? We understand right now we're having much of the problems that we are just entitled and failed upon, but we have to understand how the things come. So that is the way that we're going to be getting forward and making it happen. So this kind of the video going to be coming from Nyabohansi. I had to update you. Much of the people are asking about how is Mr. Joseph here. So he's good right now. He's no longer available. I'm going to be, if I could have just met with him, but there's a time that he started talking about going to be going to take a lot of money that we had just purchased there, and I put it for him so as he can just go and eat. So he was just talking about going to be getting there again the food, and sometimes you have that kind of a little problem, but we can just know how to handle that kind of the matters once and for all here. So what's up, man? Everything is good. Today
I'm enjoying your machine.
We're enjoying the machine here.
Yeah.
How is everything, man?
Everything is good.
It has been a long time, a long way. Is it clear here? I don't know if it's clear. This is more clearer. So we're gonna just be staying this way. How is everything, man?
Everything is good.
Everything is getting good?
Yeah.
So right now you have not been posting. What's the problem, man? Or too much money in the pocket?
No.
Sometimes you can talk about
bundles.
You are lacking bundles?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the problem. I have Wi-Fi at my home there, and you know.
Yeah.
So why are you talking about you are lacking bundles?
You know,
right now you don't have any work here.
No. You know, I always make a content evening.
Evening.
Yeah.
So right now you're going to be making the content?
No, sure.
So today we don't expect much of the video to come.
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday never posted.
He never posted. So what's the problem, man? So you understand, this is a new month. Let it not be like the last month.
Yeah.
The way we were ever talking about, oh, we had this and that, this, but right now it's gonna be another moment. So guys, we're gonna be talking about these 3 things that we're gonna be handling at this kind of the effect of today, so we can just make sure that everything is coming out very good.
Yeah.
Exactly. So guys, I have just come here to check on this the aged guy who was just at this kind of the carnival at the moment, so we can just make sure that everything is coming out very fantastic. It's right now, it's dry. We don't have much of the session of water because there's no much of the rainy right now, because it has done what's called it has been sunny right now, like 2 days, and it has dried up. Even like Nyabohans, it's now drying a little bit.
Yeah.
Can even check. It's a little bit dry.
We're gonna be harvesting.
Yeah, make it soon as possible, because how the condition is, you can never know. So you can just make sure that you are drying them very quickly.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be doing it tomorrow. You're gonna be harvesting tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
So have you analyzed much of the boys?
I'm just on it. I'm working on it.
Oh, so guys, you're gonna be harvesting tomorrow, and we're gonna be getting this kind of the sun, because we're gonna be raining. It can just have dam. The water, the maize will be dam, and it will have another color, because it's a white maize, which is the white corns. They're gonna be changing if they're gonna be getting the damness. Yeah. So make sure that you are just storing them in a very dry area. So right now, make it happen, and we're gonna be talking about that's a good moment that we are gonna be having. And everybody who's supporting us, thank you very much for you being tuned and also locked in to make sure that we are just moving together as a team. You can say something, man.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to _Ginto's channel.
Yeah.
Mayan here. We are on the streets.
Yeah.
We are trying to see 1, 2, 3 things, how things are just ongoing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also I have a YouTube channel goes by Only Mayani.
Only Mayani.
Go by supporting me, and everything will be so fantastic.
Exactly.
I'm just heading to I'm now 1,300.
1,300.
Yeah, but I want 5,000.
5,000. Yeah, that's a progress. What we're always talking about is a progress. Yeah. Always aim higher. Not always talking about, oh, you're gonna be having this kind of the rate. Aim higher always. That's what we need. Exactly. So exactly. Subscribe, like, share, comment, so as we can just groove together as a team and make it happen. So this is the last moment we're gonna be coming from Nyabohansi a little bit, so make sure everything is just fixed together. So keep it tuned. No, I'm just heading back home to make sure that I'm going to check my father. He's just in hospital a little bit, so I can just handle this kind of the 2, 3 things here. Exactly. So guys, keep it tuned, keep it locked. We're gonna be handling this kind of the matters. I'm gonna be reflecting and giving you much of the things how they come from the town of Nyabohansi, and everything so fantastic. Kudos and respect to everyone who have been tuned and locked in. This is the end.